Hi BookTube, I'm here today with my review of Naked Lunch by William S. Burroughs. This was published in 1959, and it's a postmodern novel, if you can call it that. I'm just going to be upfront and tell you that I didn't finish this. I got about 100 pages or so in and decided that I couldn't do it anymore. And I'm going to do a review anyways, telling you why I didn't. Maybe you'll understand better. While I suggest that maybe most people should pass on this book, I think everyone should read the introduction because it really addresses some serious issues that are still present today. I was surprised when I saw this was written in 1959 and was talking about like methadone clinics and such like that, which are quite, controversial nowadays. So it talks about drug addiction, how to keep people away from drugs or to get them off drugs in the first place. And I thought it was really important and really kind of geared me up for the book. I was like, this is going to be interesting, But the rest of the book isn't like that. What it is a series of scenes, and I can't bring myself to call them vignettes, because vignettes kind of implies that they're kind of almost like short stories, like they're... You know what I mean by the term vignettes? I hope you do. So they're not coherent at all. They're just kind of things that are happening, or things that this person thinks is happening. So it's a depiction of quite graphic hallucinations brought on by drug use. And the drugs that William S. Burroughs was using were heroin, morphine, a blend of marijuana that was really potent, and opiates as well. And William S. Burroughs was actually addicted to this stuff, so he kind of knew. And when I say graphic, I don't mean like, oh, that's kind of cool. I mean like, I feel like I have to wash myself after reading things. Very unsettling portrayals of, I'll start you off easy. People turning into slimy bugs that have to rub themselves up against people in order to get high. That was like the beginning, and then it was kind of easy. I was like, oh, that's kind of gross, but that's kind of interesting at the same time. And then kind of into all these scenes of massive orgies that involved the raping of children and the murdering of children, and yeah. It's one of the reasons why I eventually set it down. Now, I know that it's good to read things that make you uncomfortable. And I was slugging through it and I was like, okay, well, let's just move on to something else. But then it, maybe 2 or 3 scenes like that would have been okay, but it got really repetitive. Like it was just like 50 pages of orgy descriptions, and I was just at the point where I was just like, I skipped ahead a bit and I'm like, oh, that's all it is? That's all that's happening? Like nothing else happens with these stupid orgies? And I didn't, because they felt really repetitive and I didn't want to read them anymore. So that's why I put it down. This book is really, the reason I picked this book up was because of the way I heard that it was written. So William S. Burroughs was in Tangiers, and every time he'd have a lucid moment out of his drug addiction, he would write these scenes of different hallucinations or different thoughts that he had or different things that were going through his mind. And then what he'd do is he'd take it all, he'd cut it all up and rearrange it, which sounded really cool. I was like, that sounds like a really interesting, I'm really into experimental formats and that kind of stuff. It got super repetitive, and I think if that repetition wasn't there, I would have stuck with the book and finished it. So I am going to seek out books that are done in that style. What's also interesting about the writing style is that his word choices, I'm not going to say them because I'm not comfortable saying those words out loud. I don't mind reading them, but saying certain words out loud just kind of doesn't sit right with me. But the way in which he strung them together was beautiful. Like, you'd be reading about these incredibly gross things with these incredibly gross words, and it was very beautifully written. That's what kept me going for 100 pages before I decided that I was sick of the repetition. So I'm going to stop talking about this now. I'm going to keep it on my shelf. I'm not going to throw it because it, you know, it wasn't a bad book. It was just annoying and unsettling. So I just want to ask this question. Do you think we should review books that we haven't finished? What's your opinion on that? So thank you for watching, and I'll see you tomorrow with another review.